Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live. I am Adam. This is Open Late, coming to you live on a Monday, which is not typically when I do these. So we'll see how that goes. I feel a little bit, bit out of sorts. Monday is not a day that I normally do this, but I had a holiday today. So I had the day off, so I had time to kind of clean the office a little bit, clean things. I thought, you know what, I got time. I can kind of set up. I can get ready. And I've had these figures in my possession for a minute now, and I just really wanted to get them unboxed. And I'm really excited to unbox these. So I've got from the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. I've got Ultimate Gohan Superhero. I've got Gamma 1 and I've got Gamma 2. The Gammas come in these brown cardboard boxes because they are, I don't know if they're a P Bandai or I don't know where they're exclusive from. I got mine from Japan. A very good friend of mine who is in fact Japanese was visiting his parents, and so I was able to get some stuff basically delivered to his parents' house, and he brought it, and so I'm really excited to get these open. I absolutely love the superhero movie, and I'm very excited to actually get the Gammas. If the Gammas are sort of half as fun as action figures as they were, characters in the movie, they're bound to be pretty awesome. But let's get right into it. I'm going to do Gohan first, and then I'm going to do Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. I'll do packaging on all three first, because these two brown boxes don't look that interesting or exciting sitting back here. So as I said, I will do the actual packaging first, and then I'll unbox Gohan, and then I'll do Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. And I'll do the Gamma simultaneously because they're effectively the same figure with a couple different features. So Gohan, of course, comes in this pretty standard SH Figuarts packaging, especially for Dragon Ball. They're all the same. Different IPs have slightly different looks to the packaging. We get the silver reflective on there, so it's hard to sort of get the right angle with the lights to see that it says Ultimate Gohan Superhero. The names on these are always really funny because I think technically this is the Dragon Ball Superhero Ultimate Gohan Superhero. So I don't know. We get some photographs on the side there in the front, wrapping around to the back where we get more of sort of the posability and stuff like that. Not a lot of accessories with this guy, so not a lot going on as far as call outs on the back there. The nice window box. Simple, straightforward figure. It doesn't really matter that he didn't come with a whole lot of accessories because these guys actually come with accessories for Gohan. So just very quickly, I'm going to pop these out of the brown cardboard boxes. As I said, that's sort of the standard for the exclusive figures. But I mean, they're exclusive to multiple places, so it's not as though it's they're not hard to get. I mean, for a Canadian, they're not easy to get. Just about everybody else, they're easy to get. So there's Gamma 1. You can see right there, Gamma 1. Photograph on the front there in sort of an action pose, and some photos on the side there. More going on the back here because it comes with more accessories. It comes with some Gohan accessories as well. The Super Saiyan Gohan head, which is a lot of people don't love that, and I don't love that. But knowing that I was going to get these, I didn't really mind. I was going to buy him anyway. So Gamma 2, again, very similar packaging. He's got Gohan accessories in here as well. Similar things going on, photographs on the back or on the side. Same as the back, showing Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 together. This one we get Gohan with glasses, and then his cape, I guess, for lack of a better word. His sort of weighted training cape. Actually, you can see it in there. There it is, his cape. So that's cool. I mean, do you need Gohan's weighted cape? Probably not. But is it nice to have? Absolutely. So I'm glad that they did sort of offer it in some way. Gohan was sort of like a base price figure, along with the other three sort of, I guess, main characters, from, well, I mean, not even really from the movie, but they did a Gohan, a Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan. Or sorry, did I say Gohan? Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan for sort of the base price figures, and they're all really good figures. But they came with very minimal accessories, which is I'm fine with that. I mean, SH Figuarts come with so much stuff sometimes that it's like overwhelming. The energy blast and all that kind of stuff is cool, but I don't necessarily need it. Give me the figure at a good price, and I'm pretty happy. I mean, just to have the character. So now, because this is a newer figure, nope, not new enough. I was going to say, I wonder if the sort of instructions and stuff are on the package. They are not, so we're going to see a little instruction sheet kind of thing in here. So a little gold kind of foil card in the packaging there, as well as the instructions for how to take his face off and his hair off and how to swap things. I mean, it's a basic figure, so you don't really need much. Well, I don't think you should need too much instruction. There he is in all his glory. Like I said, pretty simple figure. So we get, you know, the figure itself, 2 alternate face sculpts, and then 3 extra sets of hands. Let's take a closer look at all of that. I really like how SH Figuarts does their packaging. This stuff all just comes right out. Gohan comes right out. You're not fussing with the packaging to get your figure out, which is nice. There's no zip ties. There's no, you know, plastic ties. There's you're not fighting against the bubble. You just pop that sort of faceplate thing off, and away you go. And then they also put these little plastic tabs in here, if you can see that, to make sure that your paint stays nice while it's making a long journey from wherever to wherever. And there you go. Just pop those off, and away you go. All right. So there he is. There's Gohan. The complaint that I've seen a lot is that his neck is too thick. From the front, he looks perfectly fine. I don't think it's really an issue. Or that his head sits too low. I think it's fine. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, you know, I'm not really doing figure reviews, right? I'm just unboxing these things and sort of telling people what I think. I think this looks great. I don't have an issue with his neck at all. You know, in the pictures it kind of looked funky, but now I can't even remember like what was the problem. I think maybe it's supposed to sit a little higher. I think that's what people sort of wanted, or that his head is a little bit too small for his neck, I guess. I mean, from some angles, yeah, a little bit. From others, not at all. It's not a problem. This is one of the newer designs, so they sort of put the butt in instead of giving him articulation where his leg can kick back as much. You still get really good articulation forward. You just don't get as much articulation back. I mean, most people's legs aren't going back much more than that anyway, are they? I don't think. I mean, you can still get pretty good posing out of those legs, so I'm not really worried. SH Figuarts always has great articulation. You can always get your figures into really good poses. And I'm not the guy to sort of show you how to do that because I don't know what I'm doing. I do like the elbows. They've got the slightly thicker elbow joint. Sometimes you see the narrower ones, and it looks a little funny to me. But this one they've gone with the wider ones. So I like that, and like really good articulation there. I suspect we're going to probably see something similar in the knee, which is, yeah, I mean, pretty good considering how big and billowy the leg is. And they do such a good job. Like, this is one of those things where, you know, you often sort of hear the argument that you either get really good articulation or really good sculpts, but look at the sculpt in the knee, in the fabric. And you still not as much on the bottom, but on the top, they've still sculpted above to still give you, that sort of fabric look. On the bottom, it doesn't look as great, but I mean, for that amount of articulation, I can live with that. Not a ton of ankle articulation there. It goes, the foot goes back a little bit, the foot goes forward a little bit. The ankle rocker is okay, but not perfect. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Who am I kidding? I've never had an issue where I wanted to pose an SH Figuarts figure one way and it wouldn't do it. With very few exceptions. A couple of them have really bad ankle rocker, but that's about it. But just a really solid figure, just a really solid Gohan figure. We get the very stern looking face there as the sort of standard face. And then the two alternate faces are the angry sort of screaming face and the clenched teeth. And then for hands, we get the two fists. Then we get the big open emotive hands. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, so we get really open, slightly less open, and then martial arts kind of posed hands. So decent offering. I don't need anything more than that. That's pretty much what you need from an SH Figuarts figure, in my opinion. When you get into some of the other lines, some of the other IPs where you want weapons or whatever, maybe. But for Dragon Ball, you're just talking about martial artists. So that's pretty much all you need. Now these guys, the Gammas, are android superheroes, basically, or they think they are. But they're going to come with a couple more accessories than Gohan did for sure. But I'm going to cut the tape on both so that I can put the knife away. But let's get into Gamma 1. And I'm going to open both Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 because, like I said, they're going to be very, very similar figures, apart from a couple little details. Now, here we go. So this one's a newer one. So they've gotten rid of that little instruction sheet. And they now put all the instructions on the inside of the box, which I think is genius because you still get everything you need. And then you don't have extra paper. You don't have to worry about, throwing something out or misplacing it or something like that. It just comes with the packaging. Also, instead of an insert, they've just now printed the inside of the card all that gold color. So the inside is all printed gold rather than a little insert card. There's his bubble. A lot more going on there. A bunch of extra heads, including the Gohan one, which comes with two alternate. Well, yeah, the head plus two alternate faces, 3 sets of hands, his little pistol, some folded arms. Let's take a look. So this is the only problem with sort of the cards, the way that they do them, is that if I turn this too far, it'll all just dump out. But you can see there all the extra heads, all the extra, the parts for Gohan, extra hands, so on and so forth. Let's get this guy out. He is not in a standing position yet. We'll just dump that stuff. And get his little skirt off here. Oh, that's interesting. They included a little plastic insert for his pistol, for his little laser gun or whatever it is. Cape is articulated. Cape has a peg. It's pegged into the back. This little bit at the top is soft plastic. So when you move the cape, you know, you still get sort of a continued look to the cape, which is quite nice. As I said, this belt, this pistol comes out, I think. Oh, I see. Okay, I get it. So what they've basically done, and I'll show the alternate pistol as well, so that I can sort of explain this. I couldn't figure out why there was a pistol in the holster as well as like a second one. But now I get it. Now I get it. He doesn't want to stand up though. But that's probably on me more than it's on the figure because I just can't get the balance point right. Okay, anyway, the pistol that comes in the belt is sculpted in such a way that it's designed to like peg in to the holster. So it's not quite the full pistol. Whereas this pistol is like the full pistol. So it's got the sort of detail and deco on the front. Kind of has that you know, shark look to the front of it. Again, just fun little details that these characters had in their design that I really liked. And so I was really excited to get these characters for that very reason. So there he's got his pistol. I'm going to put this one back in. And because it's sculpted to peg in, it's nice and secure. Like you feel it kind of plug in, which is nice. All right, I just want to get him to stand at least half decently. That's not too bad. So for spare hands, we get left and right pistol gripping hands, which don't look that exciting, but whatever, it is what it is. We get the open hands, and these are a lot smaller than Gohan's hands. Gohan's hands? Gohan's hands. We get the martial arts sort of chopping style hands, or they could be dancing hands or whatever. You do whatever you want with them. Then we get some folded arms. Now these are really cool. If you've never had an SH Figuarts figure that has these, it's kind of a cool feature, and we'll see how much time I have. But basically, you pull those arms off, and these plug on to the shoulder sockets, and they're sculpted in such a way that they sit nice and flush. So most of the time, you know, despite the best articulation, you're typically not going to get a figure to be able to cross its arms in a natural looking sort of way. But that's how SH Figuarts gets away with it. They basically mold the arms, and you get an extra set of arms. Now we get a bunch of extra heads in here. So he comes with a sort of a neutral expression. We get sort of a smirking expression. We get a gritted teeth expression. Gritted teeth in SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures is like a no-brainer. You get them almost every single time. We get a shouting sort of head, and then sort of a like a confused, comical looking head. Again, these guys were super fun in the movie. Just really interesting characters, and I'm glad that they sort of kept, you know, the amount of character in the accessories that the figures have in the movie. Then of course we get this really good Super Saiyan Gohan head, as a very welcome bonus. And that head also comes with two alternate faces. So that one's sort of the more neutral of the heads. Then we get the gritted teeth, as we always do, and a shouting one, as we almost always do, as we very often do. Not always, but very often. And then Gamma 2. Very similar to the first, but different accessories. Again, you know, he's going to come with the instructions sort of on the card. The package is the printed gold on the inside there. A lot going on in this tray. Let me see here. We get a secondary tray. No, okay, so we get a. All right. So this is a confusing tray because there's this isn't just a faceplate, like it's a full sort of cover. Then we get the back one, and the back one has two separate pieces. And the hands are already falling out, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull the figure out, lay him down, and show you what it means. So there's a separate piece there, and then you get, you know, all the stuff behind that. Dumping it out, but hoping it doesn't fall away from me, so I don't know where it's gone. Yeah, so there, like there you go. So there's a card, there's sort of an insert, and then this sandwiches it all together, which is pretty cool. I mean, I open everything, so it doesn't matter, but it's good packaging too. Like I mean, the figures are engineered incredibly well. The packaging really is second to none as well in terms of how well they engineered the packaging. Nothing ever falls out. Nothing's ever sort of loose or crooked or whatever. At least not in my experience in the figures that I've gotten so far. But all right, so similar thing going on here. We got the cape pegged into the back with the rubber, which is really nice. It really is just another one of the same figures, which makes perfect sense. I mean, they're androids that were created together to be Android 1, Android 2. I mean, it's they're Gamma 1, Gamma 2. Sorry, not Android 1, Android 2. And numbered androids is a totally different thing. All right, we'll look at the accessories, then I'll quickly look at articulation on those guys as well. Okay, what do we got? We got the little blaster again. And again, it's got, you know, similar deco to Gamma 1's. Although I just noticed this, and this is really cool. If you notice on the Gamma's heads, and I'm going to show a Gamma 1 head and a Gamma 2 head, and I'll pick the sort of the funniest one of the bunch. Gamma 1 has one fin on his head. Gamma 2, of course, has two fins. You guessed it. On their respective pistols, Gamma 1's pistol gets one fin. Gamma 2's pistol gets two fins. I didn't notice that at all in the movie, and I've just noticed it now while I'm sort of holding these in hand. So that's kind of cool. Shame on me for not noticing, I suppose. But he doesn't get the folded arms. He just gets more hands. And he's kind of the funnier of the characters, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember, but anyway, they're both pretty fun. Pistol gripping hands. Whoop. As I bump the camera. Oh, hold on. That'll do, whatever. We get the open expressive hands, although they are no, they're the same. So the same pistol gripping hands, same open hands, same, you know, kung fu chopping hands. The difference is that Gamma 2 also comes with, wait for it, horns. You could throw up the horns, which is very unique. I don't know another SH Figuarts, Dragon Ball SH Figuarts figure that comes with that, but that's kind of a cool. Let's see if I can stand these up. That's kind of fun. So he, of course, comes with the sort of neutral expression on the figure. He comes with a shouting head sculpt. He comes with the sort of side eye smirk. And then he also comes with it's a similar sort of gritted teeth face as Gamma 1. So on top of that, as far as Gohan accessories, we get a weighted training cape a la Piccolo style. This is not pegged in, so this just sort of sits on the figure. It's hinged at the back. All this bit is soft rubber, so it's going to be molded, I presume, to sit really nice and snug on Gohan's shoulders, which will work out very well, I predict. And then we get Gohan with glasses, which I think is a pretty awesome head sculpt. You know, he looks angry, he looks annoyed. He looks like he's ready to fight. Apart from you know, having the glasses sit on there really, really nice. I presume they're going to be glued on. They're on there pretty good. You know, they'll move a little bit, but that's I think they're designed to stay on there. They're not, you know, you're not going to be swapping them from one head sculpt to another. Although, is this faceplate swappable? I mean, it feels like the faceplate is swappable. The hair is different, so I presume that it's swappable. But anyway, let me check the box. It doesn't necessarily say, but it is what it is. All right, so as far as articulation goes for the Gammas, it's I mean, just from the looks of it, it looks pretty straightforward for SH Figuarts figures. Nothing crazy. It is going to be a little bit limited, just because of some of the parts that are on here. The skirting doesn't necessarily lend to you know, expert articulation, and the cape's sort of there too. So, you know, if you get the cape out of the way, the leg will go up pretty much the same as Gohan's. You get pretty good ankle rocker, but here's one where there is a little bit of a sacrifice to the sculpt because it's on a double ball peg. So it kind of it gives you good articulation, but it kind of looks a little bit funky if you're not conscious of how you're posing it. But all the articulation that you'd expect from an SH Figuarts figure is in there. And it takes me forever to figure out how to pose these guys because they have so much articulation that like no two figures are the same. So it's not like if you've posed Gohan before, you can pose one of these up really, really easily. I'm still pretty new to SH Figuarts, so I'm still kind of learning the posing basics, if you will. Like I said, they're very posable, and they'll hit, you know, every pose you'll want them to. It's just figuring out the best way to get them into those poses sometimes, because you've got options, you know, you've got like more articulation than you need in some cases, which is, you know, a blessing and a curse, right? Because it's they're not always like immediately obvious how to get some of the posing. They're absolutely stunning figures, and they look great once you pose them up. But like I said, they're so different from what we get from, like, you know, Hasbro or Mattel or whatever, in terms of articulation, that they're not always super easy to pose. Just quickly checking the chat here. Not a lot of activity, which I 100% expected since this was last minute, and I never do Mondays. But Jeff Morris is hanging out. Good evening, Jeff Morris. Good evening, Sam Rock. Good to have you guys here for sure. Happy to have company while I open these things up. These are also like, these are a little bit outside the norm as far as like what I collect, right? I don't talk about SH Figuarts that much. Not a lot of the people that I talk to collect SH Figuarts that much. but I've said before, like Dragon Ball it's sort of it is my anime. Like that's the anime that I that was sort of like the first anime that I saw. Um I it will always probably be my favorite anime just because of that. And so I'm just pretty pumped to get these figures. They don't have the same release schedule and stuff as most other things. We don't get them as often. We don't get as many, so on and so forth. So it's it's understandable that there's somewhat less interest in them. I guess like it's a different. There's definitely crossover. Don't get me wrong, but there's definitely it's definitely like a different collector market in some respects. But anyway. The combination that I really want to try, I just really want to put this cape on and the head with the glasses because I just think that's such a funny. I just think it's so funny to do Gohan with glasses. I don't. It's not funny. I find it funny, and he does have very different hair from the sculpt that we get on Gohan. Let me see if I can get these in a way that's gonna translate. Probably not. I'm not gonna be able to get a very good. This is like fight ready Gohan versus sort of like not powered up, but like you got if you've seen Dragon Ball, if you've seen Gohan fight before, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like when he fires himself up, his hair will sort of go like that. This is the more casual Gohan, I guess. So he's angry, but he's not angry enough to be quite powered up just yet. So yeah, that goes on, and without sort of being sort of pegged in, fits perfectly. And he just looks so good. Like he looks so good with his cape, with the glasses. Like it's not a look that you need, which is why I'm glad that if you're gonna get it, it's just sort of bonus with Gamma 2. I think the Super Saiyan Gohan head, I think people were a little bit bummed about that. But if you're collecting SH Figuarts figures, you also know that there's now the Gohan Beast figure. So whether you need that or not, I guess is a bigger question. I'm glad to get all the looks for Gohan. I really like Gohan. I think he's quite an interesting character. His story, Great Saiyaman and stuff like that. I really liked. His storyline in Dragon Ball Z had a really kind of like John Hughes vibe to it, which I really liked. It's not for everybody. A lot of people dislike it, but it is what it is. But yeah, some really great figures with some accessories that are going to make these a lot of fun to pose. The gammas especially, like I think getting them into all the poses that they do in the movie. They pose. They like to pose like superheroes, so like they hit poses and stuff. If that makes sense, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I would. Well, if you like Dragon Ball, you've probably seen it, and if you don't like Dragon Ball, you're probably not going to want to watch it anyway. But I really enjoyed it. So. Jeff, these look nice. I wish SH Figuarts would make Full Metal Alchemist figures. I don't think anyone has made good figures of Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, the only ones that I've seen. Oh, who made them? There is somebody did make them, and I saw them the other day, and I thought about buying. I think it was that same company that makes like those Ninja Turtle figures. Best Action or whatever, like I can't remember what brand it is. Like it's anyway. They're out there, but yeah, I mean, my experience with those Ninja Turtles is those Ninja Turtles weren't very good, and so if I'm getting that right, that it was that company. It might not be that company, but regardless, I didn't go for them because the company that made them in my head didn't have a great track record. Yeah, that Jeff Best Action made some that were not great. Yeah, those are the ones that I think I'm thinking of. I saw them. I saw them recently and considered picking them up and realized that, like, really, you kind of get the two mains, and then it's not even like, I enjoy Full Metal Alchemist, but I honestly can't even think of the two main characters' names right now. I'm trying to remember them, and I honestly can't remember what their names are. But I would instantly recognize them if somebody said, like, if somebody put those two names together, I'd instantly know they were the Full Metal Alchemist characters. Full Metal Alchemist is a funny one because the manga's good, the anime's pretty good. They've done live action movies, and the live action movies are just bad. I don't know if it's hard to make that a decent live action, or if they've just done a really bad job. I mean, they made a Dragon Ball movie and it was terrible too. So maybe it's more like converting anime to live action that's the problem. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm trying to get this Gohan posed against this backdrop a little bit nicer. I think I got to pull them up and over a little bit. Forgive me for this. That's a bit better, I think. Not that anybody cares, but I care. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. I just wanted to get these out of the box and wanted to get them, shelf ready. These are super, super fun figures, super fun characters. As I said, if you haven't seen the movie, it's worth checking out. It's just a ton of fun. And I would say that you don't need to be a Dragon Ball Super fan to watch, a fan of Dragon Ball Super to watch the movie. They give you enough backstory, and to be honest, a lot of the backstory is from like Dragon Ball, like Red Ribbon Army stuff goes back all the way to basically the very beginning of Dragon Ball. So they do a really good job of giving you sort of a 5-minute intro that explains, who the Red Ribbon Army is and how they've been around for a while, blah 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 blah. I won't go into it, but it's well worth the time. It's a fun movie. It stands alone, so like I said, you don't need to see anything else, and then you'll see it and you'll want these characters because like I said, in the movie, these characters are a ton of fun. A lot of people weren't into these designs before they'd seen the movie, but I think a lot of people came around when they saw the movie. There's some really funny stuff, just about how these guys are superheroes, but not. But anyway, I don't want to spoil anything because it's kind of it's the movie. I mean, that's sort of the details. There's a big sort of plot twist kind of thing, but anyway. Oz is joined. What's going on, Oz? He says that Gohan looks great. It is. It's a really, really good, clean figure. Very, very happy to have that figure. Love some Dragon Balls, and you need to buy the new movie. It is well worth it, my friend. Well worth it. That's all I got, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's always fun to open toys with people hanging out. As I always say, it's way more fun opening toys with friends than alone. Although in this case, being on a weird night and with very, very little notice, not as much interaction today, but that's fine because, like I said, I kind of really wanted to just get these guys out of the package. And knowing that I was doing 3, that usually takes me too long when there's too much discussion. So probably for the best in the long run. Stay tuned to the channel if you haven't already. subscribe, hit the notifications. I got some other stuff that I'm going to be unboxing very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.